Yo, what's up guys, welcome to the video looking for identifiable gloves. Here's the Autofocus video cam, and today we're going to be talking specifically about brain fog, inability to concentrate, or even lack of motivation as one of the common symptoms of porn overuse. So I'd like to start with the statement that brain fog, hungover-like feeling, or tiredness are all common problems reported by ex-porn users looking back at the time of their porn use. So we've got thousands and thousands of reports on many different forums that are specifically from ex-porn users or even from users of porn that are currently still looking at porn, that say that they experience symptoms such as brain fog, hangover-like feeling, or even tiredness. So the good and bad thing at the same time is that you don't necessarily have to be addicted to feel these porn-induced symptoms. So we've got people that are both addicted, but also just regular users that might watch porn, I guess, weekly, and yet they still feel these symptoms. So now I've chosen one of the reports that I'd like to share with you. So I'll just start reading. When I started this reboot, I listed the following symptoms that I felt, like weight on my shoulders: lack of motivation, irritability, brain fog, inability to concentrate, mood swings, and even social anxiety. And now let's take a step back and let's look at the causes of these symptoms. So let's talk about prefrontal cortex first. So many of you know what prefrontal cortex is, and it's basically the front part of your brain. And what does it supply? So it supplies problem solving, attention, planning, foreseeing consequences, regulation of goal-directed behavior, and prefrontal cortex also governs willpower and inhibits behaviors we might later regret. So these functions are often referred to as executive functions. And now there have been multiple studies confirming that overconsuming porn leads to greater inability to delay gratification. In simple terms, or in more scientific terms, poor cognitive outcomes. So now I'd like to share with you just a few things that overconsumption of porn might lead to within the topic of this video. So it might be impulsivity, cognitive rigidity, poor judgment, a deficit in emotion regulation, excessive preoccupation with sex, and interfere in working memory performance. So these are some of these things are what we are going to be are the things that we are going to be talking about today in this video. And what you might have noticed is that almost all of these are linked to prefrontal cortex. So yes, we do have evidence that prefrontal cortex is damaged by porn. Now, there's been numerous studies that have reported impaired executive control or dysfunctional prefrontal circuits in regular porn users or porn addicts. But now, you may ask yourself, why is it that the porn use damages prefrontal cortex? So, there's essentially two pathways that help us control our impulses that prefrontal cortex extends, and this is the explanation from the book Your Brain on Porn. I'd like you to check it out after watching this video. It's a really good book for starters that want to learn more about their addiction. And so the first pathway is go get it, and the second one is let's think about it. So as you can see, go get it pathway is more impulsive, and let's think about it pathway is more rational pathway. So yes, go for it pathway is the gas pedal, and let's think about it pathway is the brake. So now the thing is that the stronger the go get it pathway is, the weaker the let's think about it pathway becomes, right? So in context, the more weakened prefrontal cortex you have, the less able you're able to control your porn use, the more weakened prefrontal cortex you have. So as you can see, by watching porn, you're basically supplying this pathway that is impulsive and that seeks pleasure, let's say. And the let's think about it pathway is, again, more rational, and it gets weakened. So, in simple terms, the increasingly powerful go-get-it pathways amplify cravings, and I like to underline the amplify. They amplify cravings while the psychologically weakened, think about it, pathways have a harder time inhibiting drives. So now you can see that the stronger go get it pathway is, the more hard it can be to quit porn or to refuse to watch it, and so on. So now I'd like to show you the final nail on the coffin, and that is that we've got a finding that shows that even moderate porn use correlates with a shrunken gray matter in regions of brain associated with cognitive function. So there's been a study, and that has exactly shown that even moderate porn use correlates with a shrunken gray matter in the regions of brain associated with cognitive function. So here's a quotation from another study. The more pornography that participants consumed, the more they saw the future rewards as worth less than immediate rewards, even though the future rewards were objectively worth more. And this statement exactly correlates with this statement, which is the more weakened prefrontal cortex you have, the less able you're able to control your porn use, the more weakened prefrontal cortex you have. So basically, you see short-term gratification as more important and as more preferred than maybe long-term goals. And now, here's another reason, and that is desensitization. So decline in dopamine signaling, which is in simple terms desensitization, is yet another reason that causes such symptoms. So let's take a step back and let's discuss dopamine. So as we know, dopamine is central to concentration, focus, motivation, memory formation, desires, and also cravings, libido, erections, etc. And the thing is that desensitization affects them all. Desensitization is there to stop you from binging and take the joy out of it, to persuade you to give it a rest. So basically, it kicks in the moment that you start to overconsume porn, or it can be it can be eat binging as well. It's there to stop you from eat binging or binging on porn, whatever it is. It just wants you to stop, and it kind of inhibits the dopamine signaling. And so yeah, and it does all of this by numbing your dopamine signaling. And then the sad thing is that desensitization then takes joy out of the things outside of porn as well, and that is lack of motivation. You probably don't feel as much fun doing hard things as you might have used before, and you have again the impulse to seek short-term gratifications. There might be no desire to socialize, there might be no energy, and so on. So this inattention is in reality caused by a lack of motivation, and that is caused by reduced D2 dopamine receptors, hence tasks seem boring or uninteresting. So again, the inattention that we're talking about, the inability to concentrate, is in reality caused by a lack of motivation that is caused by desensitization. So it is caused by reduced D2 dopamine receptors. And so the result of that is that the task that were previously fun, or the hard things that you used to do on a daily basis before you started to overconsume porn, they might seem boring or uninteresting because again, there's the scientific factor of numbing your dopamine signaling. So yeah, now there's also the fact that inattention impairs memory, doesn't help. So if you remember, one of the symptoms that we discussed a long time ago was exactly interfere in working memory performance. So this is what we are talking about right now, that inattention impairs memory, is exactly why you can feel the symptom of, you can see the, or you don't even feel it, but it's the symptom of weakened working memory. And last but not least, seeking short-term pleasures such as chocolate or social media only worsens the effects of desensitization, as again you're creating a preference for the go-get-it pathway. And now, as you're creating a preference for short-term pleasures, again, it also interferes also other parts of your um, other parts of your life. So again, you have that preference from for short-term pleasures. And the fine line is here, and it says that both desensitization and impaired executive functioning can result in poorer cognitive functioning. So again, we've just talked about impaired executive functioning and also desensitization, which both lead um, to poor cognitive functioning, which can then show in the symptoms as brain fog, lack of motivation, inattention, tiredness even. And now let's have a conclusion. So, significant improvements in concentration and memory after rebooting are not placebo, and we've got a science for this. And the evidence suggests that these improvements come down to the reversal of addiction related alterations in the brain. So, again, after rebooting, these things repair themselves, right? The pathways get normalized. When you reboot, there's no more desensitization that takes place that numbs your dopamine signaling. And now I would like to show you just 3 quick reports from people that have already rebooted, and let's just see what they say. So I would like to start a read. My concentration is better, motivation to do well in the school is back, and most importantly, my desire to socialize is better. And the second one, I noticed my ability to read things out loud had greatly improved, and also my voice and pronunciation are clearer and more concise. I don't have the fuzziness or cloudy brain feeling anymore. And the last one, I found that whenever I'm on a streak, my thinking is so fast and I can solve very complex things very fast. So whenever I relapse, my brain gets foggy and I have trouble focusing and doing even the most simple problems. So again, as shown above, people after abstention of porn report to have better concentration, no more brain fog, clearer thinking, and also improved memory. So what do you think about all of this? Please leave your thoughts in the comments below. And this is it for this video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that it has helped you on your path of quitting porn, or maybe it gave you the basic knowledge to start looking more into what porn does really to your brain and to your body as well. So be sure to check out our latest videos and also our other videos. And if you want to know more about what we do at deltafosb.com, be sure to check links in the description below. And again, thank you for being here with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.